Just a robot.
Super straight! What is it? Is it a joke? Is it a dog whistle? Or is it something else entirely? Well, I'm not trans, but I will have a trans person in this video with me to talk about this subject. And if my editor, who is trans themselves, is willing to edit this video for me, well then, it will also be edited by a trans person. So, CarmenRider, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
Hello everyone, I'm CarmenRider. You may know me as that one person Jar mentioned in that video about you-know-who, but I will be here to hopefully explain some things or nuances when it comes to trans-related topics. And so people don't pull the "you're not trans, so you can't talk about this" card.
I think being trans is a hard thing. 50% of them are suicidal. They get kicked out of the families they have, and so much more. There's still a debate going on to this day if people should transition at all, and there's a debate about if kids should do it. I'm mostly a libertarian about trans rights. If you are doing it to yourself, go for it! But parents, stop trying to make your kids trans. It's up to them to decide, not you.
While I've only personally seen one case relating to it, I know there are parents who force their children to be trans when they aren't. And honestly, forcing a kid to be trans is just as bad as not accepting a trans child as trans. But that's just my opinion.
So where did Super Straight come from? 4chan? Nope, it all started on TikTok, which is far worse. It's a website that I never used and don't plan on ever using.
See, as someone who uses 4chan occasionally, this doesn't seem like their normal trolling attempt. Then again, I didn't expect this to originate from TikTok either. Though I will admit it was pretty sus that the Super Straight pride flag looked like the Pornhub logo. Rest in peace, old Pornhub. You will be missed.
I first looked it up on YouTube, a website I have used and plan on using until my power cells run out. The first video I saw was the one from Sam Cullen.
So there we have it, everybody. Super straight. You know, you can just call yourself straight. You can still be straight, not be transphobic, and not want to date trans people. I would love to know the occasion on which this man was asked that question about trans women. According to my knowledge, trans women do not stoop that low.
I agree with most of what he said, but there are trans people who think that people who don't want to date them hate them.
So, this has inclined the edgy people of TikTok to coin the term super straight. I mean, they even made a flag for it.
They've now created a flag. Like, this is now a movement, apparently.
So those are the flag colors. I mean, that looks a little familiar, does it not? Am I seeing this right with my own two eyes? I don't know.
I would have gone for an ANCAP joke, but yes, it does have the same colors as my favorite dating app.
Wait, what?
I like human girls, and both robot men and women. There's a section for robots on it.
Then somebody said, it's the transphobia for me, and they said, don't care. So clearly they don't care if people are transphobic, and they're even admitting it themselves. I want you to keep this in mind for the post going forward.
I think they're saying they don't care if people call them that.
Just like incels are not entitled to have sex with women who don't want them, trans are not entitled to biological men/women who don't want them. You can't coerce anyone into sex. That is not only creepy, but borderline rapey. Just go where you are celebrated and leave straight people alone. There are plenty enough folks who love trans and will embrace you with open arms. You know, my favorite thing about this is they say to leave straight people alone, when in fact trans rights and lives have been discussed for the last 6 years, bright as day. We have been on every headline every second of every day because people don't like trans people. They don't want them to take hormones, they don't want them to have rights, they don't want them to get married, they don't want them to change their names, they don't want them to do anything. We have been the center of discussion for all of you people. If anything, you're the ones who are obsessed with the LGBT community.
This is a good point. I think trans people have it rough, and still have a long way to go for getting rights. That's because some trans people, hashtag not all of them, do try to get people who are not into trans people to sleep with them. This is not only done by trans people, mind you. Men and women also do this. And it's bad for anyone to insult someone just because they don't want to fuck you.
Got a rule page here. Rules. Don't hate on the LGBTQ here. Respect them as long as they respect you and us. We created to be ourselves, not to fight the LGBTQ. Yep. Rule number 2, please don't spam in the server. It should be common sense. Blah, blah, blah. And the rest of the rules are basic. I like rule number 1 because it says not to hate on the community, but yet this whole sexuality is a mockery of the entire community, so that doesn't even make any sense.
I don't feel that way. I think most of them are just sick of being called transphobic. Or are just memeing.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are a few of them who are using it to make fun of trans people, but hashtag not all.
I see this guy along with a lot of other people making fun of the people in the TikToks.
I'm super straight. It's a preference. Exactly. You don't need to create a new sexuality for your preferences. Like, that's just so, like, it just doesn't make sense.
The thing is, 90% of them are trolls who want to be roasted.
I really love the people who say, you don't need to come up with a new sexuality. Like, do they even know anything about the 76 genders?
I think there is an argument to be made that this could make trans hate go up, but people are already saying that everyone who calls themselves super straight are transphobic.
The meme is going to be dead before the end of the year. Hell, it's basically dead before this video even went up. If a trans person looks like a woman, and they still have a dick, I would still go for them. But someone who just started taking hormone pills, just don't do it for me. One day, possibly in our lifetimes, people will have the ability to upload their brains into whatever body they want. Kind of like an altered carbon, which will end racism, transphobia, and sexism. But for now, we can do what we can to help others see one another as humans. My childhood friend was trans, and I believe because of them, I am much more accepting of trans people. That being said, there are trans people who think those who don't want to date them are transphobic. If you are trans and you think someone is transphobic, you might not want to date them. If you are cisgendered and you don't want to date a trans person, don't call them disgusting or any other insults. Just politely say no. I want to have a change with my political content instead of being a typical anti-SJW or completely switching sides and becoming a breadtuber. I want to help people come to more of a middle ground. I'm kind of sick of everybody giving one another the least charitable interpretation possible. But unfortunately, as the old saying goes, those who stand in the middle of the road tend to get run over. Luckily for me, I'm made of metal.
I might just be pessimistic, but I'm pretty sure things like racism, transphobia, and sexism will remain in the world no matter what. But you never know, I guess. I don't really have much to say other than what's already been said. It's true that we shouldn't throw labels like transphobic around, as it could possibly minimize actual discrimination in the world. Luke. But yeah, there isn't much left I can say.
Oh, okay, are they gone? Hey everyone, Goofball the editing ghost here. I'm here to explain to you what super straight actually is. Super straight is a sexuality that excludes transgender people. Now, you may not understand why this is stupid as fuck. Sexualities are meant to represent the people you are attracted to. You know, how gay people say they're gay, so other gay people know they're attracted to them? Super straight doesn't do that at all. All it does is exclude people, and it's not benefiting you in any way, because if you're a cis man who says they're straight, cis women already know you're attracted to them. I don't think that's fucking rocket science, but apparently to some people it is. All super straight does is exclude trans people, and I don't think that's inherently transphobic to exclude them from something.
Okay, it's about time we address this super straight nonsense. I'm gonna go ahead and answer the question right off the muscle. Does it make you transphobic for not wanting to date a trans person? No, it does not. However, that's not why y'all being called transphobic. So I got 2 skits prepared for you. Let's get into it. Hey bro, quick question. Would you date someone that's trans? Nah, probably not. It's just not my preference. That there does not make you transphobic. However, this is what y'all doing. Hey man, would you date someone that's trans? Ew, no. I prefer my women born biologically female. So every cis person that you come across or that you perceive to be cis, you ask them for their birth certificate? I mean, no. Why would I do that? I want to be able to have children. Why should I be robbed of that? So you're assuming right off the muscle that they're cis and that they can have children. Well, what if that cis woman can't have children? then what? I'm just saying, stop forcing me to date trans people. I'm not attracted to trans people. And scene. The historical rhetoric which has cost trans men and trans women their lives is what makes you transphobic, not your preference.
One final thing that I don't think I should have to explain, but I'm going to, is as a responsible adult, you should be able to tell people to stop flirting with you. I am a woman who has a girlfriend, and I have that publicly labeled almost everywhere, yet people still hit on me all the time. Should I make a sexuality just so people stop hitting on me because I have a girlfriend? No, that's silly. I'm an adult who can say no to things, not a child.
I think this video overall was pretty well balanced. The only thing I was missing was an actual transphobe to give their thoughts on this situation. But the point of this video is that I don't think people who use super straight are automatically transphobic. A few of them, sure, but all of them, no.